Well, good day and welcome to today's chat. We're going to chat about success and living the life of your dreams. You know, success is not actually as hard as most people make it out to be. But if you don't learn it, you don't study it, it will be difficult. Same as anything in life. If you don't study skydiving, skydiving is going to be pretty dang hard. If you don't study money, money's going to be pretty dang hard. You want to build a great life, then you've got to study how to build a great life. Study those who went before you, who created a great life. Thanks to those who've started typing in where you're at. Good to see we're in Australia. A few of us in Australia, Scotland, South Africa, Mexico, Guadalajara, Jalisco. Great part of the world, Adrian. I love that part of the world. My wife enjoys it more than me. She's a tequila fan. So there we go. So Charlotte, we got in the house. Good to see. Isle of Man. Thanks, Mark, for joining us. Remember that at the end of the session today, I will take questions. So any questions you have at the end of the day today, keep them, type them in. The team will mark them as a question for me, and I'll be able to get to them at the end. I will have an offer for you at the end here today. I know there's 318 people on attendance on this program. I will be accepting 100 people. Actually, it won't be 100 because we already accepted 8 from a session I did with a small group yesterday in private. But we'll be accepting a total of 100 people into our next class for the Building Your Life Plan session. And I'll be making an offer for you so that you will be thinking it is ridiculous. Mission Vejo, good to see you here. Good to see we're getting all across the U.S. at this point in time. And it's good to see Mukesh there from India. I gotta love the fact that you are, it's got to be some ridiculous hour of the day in India right now. So fantastic to have you on here. Clear Lake, Iowa. I do like that part of the world. I was just actually up close to that part of the world, headed up to Omaha. We just invested in a beef cattle business up there. So let's get to it. What do you want to get out of being here today? Type in the chat window, what is it you want to get out of being here today? Those of you who talk, those of you who chat are the ones who I will actually listen to. So if you don't chat, if you're on silence, if you're on your cell phone and you can't chat, then that's okay as well. But whatever you type in is what I'm going to focus us in on for today's session. So living the life of your dreams. Let's start with lesson number 1 on that one. What that means is that we literally have to have dreams. If we don't start with dreams, it's very hard for us to have success, a massive life, okay? You need to have the life that you want, and the way you have the life to do that is to actually start with putting your dreams down on paper. Now, putting your dreams down on paper seems a lot simpler than it is when you state it that way, but it is actually quite simple. I will get to how simple it is in the next little while. So let's get into the main learning here today. Clarity is what you're looking for. Practical steps, big dreaming or small steps. Let's get into the whole learning process. So let's talk about above and below the point. This is the point of power. Below the point of power is 3 behavioral types: blame, excuses, and denial. Denial is where you think you're great, but you're not actually, where, you know, you think you're a rock star. I call them the looking good, going nowhere crowd. You know, they look good, but they're deep in debt. They think they're amazing, but they haven't had a pay rise or a promotion in years type thing. If you did an annual score of them, like if you gave them an annual report card, their report card would say same grade as last year. They're not getting an A in finance or an A in relationships or an A in health. They're not getting a grade moving up to the next grade type thing. That's the person who's in denial. The next one is the person who's always got an excuse. Or for those of you from the UK on the call, I noticed a few of you from the UK, you guys have a reason why. Excuses are a killer. These points are below the point of power. You cannot have a successful life living with any one of these 3 diseases. And they are diseases. The disease of denial, where you don't even face the reality. You think you're great, but you look at your credit card bills and your bank balance, and your credit card bills are higher than your bank balance. That's a problem. That's called denial, okay? Excuses, always having a reason why, or even worse than that, always having someone or something to blame. Oh, it's the government's fault. It's this fault. It's that fault. Nope. Only one consistent factor in your life, and that would be you. So no matter what it is, I still remember years and years ago chatting with a client who was about to go through his 3rd divorce. And he looked at me and said, Brad, you know, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I said, well, there's one consistent factor in all 3 of your marriages. And he looked at me weird. And he goes, what, that I was married to a woman? I said, no, you are the consistent factor in ruining all 3 of your marriages. So get your act together, son. Start learning how to have a relationship. You want a good relationship? You probably should read 6 books on how to have a good relationship, or study how to have a good relationship. It's not complex. So above this point, again, there are 3 things. If we take a look at getting out of the reasons and get to above the point: responsibility, accountability, and of course, ownership. So if you look at the bottom one, that spells bed. You made your own bed and you're going to lie in it, okay? If you get above the point, you have as you read the top one, it's your own ship, and you have the OAR, O-A-R, accountability and responsibility, joint ownership to create the OAR. So responsibility is the very basic level above the point. Responsibility is where you choose what you do, you choose your actions, and you recognize that you are choosing your actions and decisions. Accountability is where you're willing to be held to account, where you're willing to stand up and say, yep, that's my number, that's my results, that's my thing. You hold an accountable position for where you're going. And finally, ownership. You take full ownership of what is happening in your life. And some people say, there's negative things that happen to me, Brad, that are totally outside of my control. While that may be true, if you take ownership for the fact that you put yourself in a position to be there, then you have to move forward on it. It's tough on some things, especially the negative things in life, to say, how do I take ownership for that? Ultimately, we as a community have to take ownership for everything that happens in our life, especially, given the circumstances around us at this point in time here in the States. We have to all come together and take ownership for it and stand up for the kids in our schools and stand up for what we want to believe in, and not let these 50 senators get away with stuff. Ultimately, for us in our business, in our life, if we play above the point, we get results. If we play below the point, we're stuck with reasons. We cannot have a successful life. So learning to play above that point is a very big part of it. And that's one of the reasons I'd like to invite you into my 30-day program that we're going to launch in August. So the only failure is the failure to participate. When I tell people that the only way you can fail is to do nothing, more dreams are killed by not even trying than are killed by people actually failing. Most people lose their dreams and goals in not even trying. They don't lose their dreams and goals in failure. They just, I'm not even going to give it a shot. I'm not even going to try. And that kills more dreams than any failure actually does. The moment you participate, you learn. The moment you participate, you move in a direction. The moment you participate, you get momentum. The moment you do it, like joining this webinar here today, is you participating in a better future for you. When I remember being a 16-year-old young man and winning the Rotary Youth Leadership Award in my area, and then going on to start learning how to become a better me, that's when I started to really participate, not by just doing schoolwork, but by participating in my life and participating in where I want to go and how I want to get there. If you start thinking of other things you want to get out of this, make sure you type them in the chat window, or if you start thinking of questions, make sure it is. So 2 words that will kill your ability to succeed. I know. Your ability to learn is killed. Your ability, and let's put it very bluntly, speed of learning determines speed of growth, determines speed of success. The speed with which you learn, the speed with which you grow, determines the speed with which you achieve your goals. If you learn slow, obviously you can't achieve your goals very fast, because you've got to learn so you can grow into your goals. That is the most out of it. So that's what we're looking for. So whenever you think, oh, I already know that, like some of the things I've already taught you today, I can feel some of you sitting there thinking, I already know that. I already saw Brad teach that. I already know that. No. All we do all the time is we use the words, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting is what we're looking for, because that way we get into a learning frame of mind. I don't argue with people. I go, oh, isn't that interesting? When someone's wrong, no use arguing. You just go, oh, isn't that interesting? Oh, that's really interesting. Oh, isn't that interesting? There's no use arguing. As my dad used to say, he said, if you argue with an idiot, you just create 2. You step down to their level of stupidity to have the argument. So you've got to get your brain in a space of, isn't that interesting, rather than I know. I know comes from a right-wrong mentality. In success in life, we don't come from a right-wrong mentality, because it basically goes against the principle of life. See, in life, everything comes in 3s. There's no such thing as left and right. There's left, right, middle. There's no such thing as up and down. There's up, down, center type thing. You know, you have to understand that. Hot, cold, warm. Everything comes in threes, okay? And that's the very simple. So we have to go on the gradient. Like, how many different colors are there when you go from white to black? How many shades of gray? Not 50 as this book tells us, but lots more than that as the computer tells us, at least 256. So we start thinking about getting our mindset around that, and we move to an isn't that interesting mindset is a very big step in our success. So when we're looking at life success, one of the things that I always debate with people is, are you after freedom or security? Are you after short-term success or long-term success? See, short-term success does not breed long-term success. Now, doing the right thing short-term definitely leads to long-term results, but it's that longer-term focus that will lead you there. Long-term focus means you stay healthy. Long-term focus means you invest. Long-term means you keep reading and studying. Long-term means you take care of relationships and you invest in relationships. See, long-term is that sort of thing. And also then you get to an abundance mindset versus a scarcity mindset. Oh, there's never enough. Oh, it's not enough to go around. Oh, no one will pay that price here. Oh, there's too many competitors. That scarcity mindset stops you investing. That scarcity mindset stops you being successful. You have to learn and study abundance. You have to learn and study freedom. You have to learn and study long-term thinking, not short-term thinking. That's where ultimately success lies. You know, it's not the workout I did this morning that will keep me fit. It's the concept of my mind of doing that day in and day out. It's not the apple I eat today that keeps me healthy. It's the apple I eat every day that keeps me healthy. And that's a big part of the mindset that we got to shift from. So let's learn about success in understanding where money came from, okay? If we go back to when the sort of British ruled the world, the agrarian age, because they had the most land, obviously. They sailed the 7 seas and took over Canada, US, Australia, India. You know, they had all the land. So they made the most money, because in the agrarian age, how did you make the most money? You had the most land, because the most valuable thing was food. The commodity of food was the most valuable thing. In the industrial age, the most valuable thing, because food was just a given in the industrial age. So what became the biggest money maker was the factory. So if you owned a factory, and in the beginning it was working with steel and those sorts of things, and in the end it was working with plastics, and manufacturing became the thing. So the US won the first half of the manufacturing or the industrial age, and Japan won the second half of the industrial age when it came to manufacturing. You move into the information age and you start to understand that knowledge is where power comes from. So if you want life success today, it's your knowledge base that will determine your level of success. It's your knowledge base. People pay more for knowledge than they do for anything else out there in the world right now. What you know and how you apply what you know, your wisdom, because wisdom is applied knowledge or comes from applied knowledge. That's what really is about success today. So how you learn and how much you learn will determine your level of success. I was lucky enough at 16 to meet Mr. Jim Rohn, who told me, never wish your life were easier, wish that you were better. Never wish your life were easier, wish that you were better. Because, you know, life doesn't get easier. You got to get better at life. Relationships don't get easier. You got to get better at relationships. That's what we're looking at here. Money doesn't get easy. You got to get better at money. Health doesn't get easy. You got to get better at health. So that brings us to this simple point. If you want to earn more, you got to learn more. There's no two ways about it. If you want to learn more, you got to be focused on that learning factor, okay? And keep that learning in front of you and make sure that that learning is a big part of what you're doing. That, my friends, is the simplest way I can put it. The only place earning comes before learning is the dictionary. It does not come anywhere else. By the way, if you do happen to get a blinding flash of the obvious or a big learning, something that strikes you, type it in the chat room as to why it's a big learning for you. So where does that take us? That takes us to starting to understand what we call the quality of life. How does the quality of life happen? Well, it all starts with the quality of your mentor or your teacher. So who are your current mentors? If you look at it, who are your current mentors? Other than me, of course. Yes, I am one. Type in the chat window, who are your other current teachers or mentors? Whether it be from books, audio programs, online programs, whatever it might be. Who are the current mentors and teachers in your life? Okay. Think about that, because the quality of the mentor determines the quality of life ultimately. Why? Well, the quality of the mentor determines the quality of knowledge or education that you're getting. The higher quality of education, the higher quality of knowledge base, the more you have, the more that you will understand how to grow in life. You want a higher quality of life, you need a higher quality of education. You need better knowledge to create a better life. The more you know, the better quality information you have in your brain. Obviously, it leads to us that. Why? Well, the bigger your knowledge base, the bigger your dreams. The more you know, the more you understand, the more you see, and the more you actually learn, the more you believe you can achieve, the more dreams you have. It's when you start to learn more, you start to go, wow, what if I could achieve that? I remember when I met Mr. Rohn, age 16, and Mr. Rohn taught me a bit about finance, and I set myself the goal. I said, hang on, with this quality of mentor, with this level of knowledge, I'm going to set a goal of retiring financially at age 25. I'm going to set the goal of retiring early. Why? Because I got new knowledge that allowed me to have a better level of dream, a bigger belief in myself. Now, why did that create a better quality of life? I'll show you why. Because the bigger the dream, the better the decisions. Okay, the bigger the quality of life, the better the decisions. Okay, and then the better the decisions, the better the actions. If I have better decisions, because if I've got bigger dreams, do I ask better questions? If I got bigger dreams, I ask better questions. And better questions lead to better decisions. See, if I have a bigger dream for your life than you, I'm going to ask you better questions. What would it take for you to make 100 million in the next 5 years? What would you have to do? How would you have to change? What would you have to grow into? How do you learn? As you learn and grow, the better the decisions, the better actions, and the better the actions, of course, the better the results. Better the results, the better the quality of your life. So when I look at your life, when I look at how you build a great life, it all starts with the quality of your mentor. So who are your mentors, and who do you need to be around more than before? Do you need to be with me every day to keep you focused? Do you need to be with one of your mentors more often? Do you need to be learning better? If you think being with me every day would improve your life, think about how fast it would improve your life. What would be the thing? What would happen if you spent 30 days with me? Now, then we have to talk about change, okay? Because for you to get better, you got to change. For your life to get better, you got to grow. You got to learn, you got to grow, which is change by definition. So my definition of change, or my formula for change, is really very simple. D stands for dissatisfaction. So write that down. D stands for dissatisfaction. What we're looking at here is you're not going to change unless you have a level of dissatisfaction. If you're happy with life, if you're satisfied with where you're at, even if you're overweight and you're satisfied with it, then that's fine. Okay. If you're unhealthy and you're satisfied, if you're broke and you're satisfied, okay, I work 80 hours a week and I don't have that much money, but life's okay. If you're satisfied, you will not change. You need a level of dissatisfaction. Now, some people will change with a 1 out of 10 dissatisfaction. Some people will change 2 out of 10. Others, it takes 10 out of 10 dissatisfaction for them to shift. They have to have had a heart attack and a stroke and be run over by a car before they'll make any change whatsoever, okay? I'm hoping that you will make change a bit lower on the spectrum than 10 out of 10. So dissatisfaction is then multiplied by your vision, okay? So what happens there? Well, unless you see where you're going, you're not going to change. If you are dissatisfied, but you don't see a possibility, you're still not going to change. So it's dissatisfaction multiplied by vision. So, if you've got a low dissatisfaction and a high vision, we need to work on your dissatisfaction. If you're the opposite of that, you got a high dissatisfaction, a low vision, we need to work on your vision. And that's, again, why it's a 30-day program for you to come join me and create an entire new life. What if I challenged you to create a life plan in 30 days? How well would you want to take on that challenge of building a life plan in 30 days? That, to me, is one of the things that I love watching people do. Now, then your next one is taking the first steps. So obviously new knowledge and what the first steps are. Sometimes it's not new knowledge. Like sometimes you already know the first steps. My first step to getting fit is actually go walking and drink more water. That's my first step in getting fit. Walk every day, walk the dog half hour a day. And, that's the first step. Sometimes we know the first step, we just aren't taking it yet. And that's why we've got to work on dissatisfaction and vision so that the first step becomes a step that you actually take. And then finally, your goal got to be greater than your resistance. Now, where does resistance come from? Sometimes resistance is external, friends, family, other people, situations, that sort of thing. Most of the time, the resistance comes in here and in here, head and heart. Okay, what's in the head and the heart is where the resistance comes from. So again, that's why I want to challenge you to do 30 days, you and me together for 30 days, and challenge you to step up, to create your life plan, to overcome that resistance in that 30 days and step up and become the person you need to be. You and I together for 30 days could create a pretty amazing change in your life. Now, that then leads me to the identity iceberg. Why is this important? Well, where we start with this thing is what's above the water, okay? And above the water is your behaviors, and your behavior is a combination of your actions and your decisions. So what you decide and what you do is seen as your behaviors. Now, if you take an iceberg, about 20% above the water and about 80% below the water. So you got to start looking at, well, what is below that waterline? What is it that's creating my behaviors? Some of your behaviors are leading you to good results, and some of your behaviors are leading you to bad results. Some of them are habits that you've built in that are just not getting you to where you want to go, and others that are rituals you've built in that are getting you to where you want to go. So the biggest contributor to someone's set of behaviors is their skills. So what you're good at. If you're good at cooking, you will cook more often. If you're bad at cooking, you'll eat out more often. People do what they're good at. If you're good at something, you do more of it type thing. Not too hard to understand. Then what contributes to someone's skills, mostly what I've found is their beliefs. So when we study a person making change, changing their behavior usually lasts for a very short period of time. Like someone wants to take up, they want to get fit. Let's use that as a simple example. They want to get fit. So they decide to go for a run. They change their behavior. They haven't had any running training. They haven't had any new knowledge to better skills. They haven't gone out and read a book on running. They haven't studied any podcasts or blogs on running. All they've done is go out and try something that they haven't done well before. Now, if I want to get those skills, I got to have the belief. Like, as a young man, I believed I was good at math. Okay. Some people believe they're bad at maths. Okay. Why? Because, and it's interesting because your math brain doesn't fully develop until you're about 13 years of age. But sometimes kids at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 think, oh, I'm bad at math because I got a bad score on a test. Well, maybe the test was crazy tough. Maybe you weren't taught very well, but you take that belief on. And if you believe you're bad at math and you get a bad test score, you go, oh yeah, that's right, because I'm bad at math. If you believe you're good at math and you get a bad test score, you go, oh, that doesn't seem right. I'm good at math. Why did I get a bad test result? Must have been a hard test, So that's a natural thing for us to be able to go into and say, okay, how do we do this? Third thing that leads to those beliefs, how do we get there? It's your values. What do you value most? So we sit down and we start looking at your values, and I'll give you a simple example. Imagine you had a high value on acceptance. You wanted to be accepted by other people, okay? High value on acceptance. How well are you going to do at sales? You're not, because you're not going to go into sales because you value acceptance and you don't like the rejection factor or what you perceive to be rejection when someone says no. So we have to work on developing your values. I literally teach a full 2-day course on this called Purpose. And if you want to join my purpose workshop, I'll be free to get you the link later on and make sure you understand what that's all about. But I take you through redeveloping all these things. Finally, we get to the bottom of this. It's your identity, your I ams, what you say to yourself about yourself when you're by yourself. I am this. Do you say, I'm a phenomenal business person. I'm amazing at business. I do great things. Or do you say, I'm a wonderful parent. I'm such an amazing parent. I do a great job at it. Or do you say things to yourself like, well, I'm just a housekeeper. Or, I'm okay at that. I'm a small business owner, but really, so what you describe after that words, I am, massively powerful. Now, where does all this come from? It comes from your environment. The water around that iceberg shapes the iceberg. the environment you put yourself in, the people you're with, the places you go, how you put yourself in an environment determines your identity, determines your values, determines your beliefs, determines your skills. Let me give you an example of this. If you think of the first day you became a parent, I'm a parent. Your values shifted, your beliefs shifted, your skills had to shift, your behavior shifted, everything shifted because you shifted your identity to that of a new identity. Or if you went from being an employee to a business owner, the day you became a business owner, your values shifted, your beliefs shifted, your skills, everything shifted. You started putting yourself in different environments. I want you to be in an environment with me for 30 days straight. I want you to get into that environment and see how I can help you build your identity over the next coming 30 days. Well, it starts in August. This month is already booked out. It's already finished. It's 5 days to finish this month's program. Next month is booked out. It's August. We're taking bookings for. Only 100 people are allowed in. I will give you the link to that in a little while. The first 100 people that apply get in, and I'm going to tell you the deal. The deal is it's normally $997. It is a $1,000 program to be with me for 30 days learning. One of my team will facilitate with you 30 days of you in that program. They'll help you get through the whole program for 30 days. But at the end of that 30 days, you and me together, you'll have a new life plan. You'll have a new outlook on life. You'll have a new identity. You'll have shifted your values, your beliefs, your skills, your behaviors, because I'm putting you in a different environment for 30 straight days. Think of how powerful that will be. So the deal is it's going to be $99 if you sign up here today, right now. If you sign up during the webinar, it'll be $99. Stupid price. Why? Because I believe that if I can change your life now, eventually you'll come back and do the big programs with us. If I can get you moving in the right direction and do it for 99 bucks, great, perfect. Get you on track. You'll be moving in the right direction. And hey, presto, we'll see what comes after that. All right. So formula for life success, simple. B times do equals have. Who you are multiplied by what you do determines what you have. Who you are by what you do determines what you have. Now, if we reverse that and we say, okay, let's put that in reverse. If I decide what I want to have, then I can work backwards and go, oh, what do I need to do? And if I know what I need to do, I can work backwards again and work out who do I need to be in order to do, in order to have. And once you get that formula, once you know B times do equals have, it will blow your life, okay? Blow your life up. Now add that formula to this one, dreams. W. Somerset Maugham said it best, nothing if not at first a dream. So dreams are the first step for life success. And I want to teach you all about how to build your dreams, your dream chart, your dream journal, your dream goals, all of that. You turn your dreams into goals. So dreams are 10, 20 years out. Goals are like anything from now to 5 years. We want to document it. We want to build our goals. I want to teach you how to build your goals so that you've got an amazing set of goals. From there, once we know your goals, then we can define your learning plan. We can define what it is you need to learn. If you have a goal of doubling your business, you're probably going to need to do some business study. If you have a goal of becoming a multimillionaire, you're probably going to need to do some wealth study and money study. If you have a goal of running a marathon, then you're probably going to need to do some study on how to run, all those sorts of things, what diet, what, et cetera, et cetera. Then from there, we make a plan. Dreams, goals, learning, plan. Once we've developed the plan, and that's what you're going to do with me, 30 days with me, you and me together for 30 days, you're going to develop a life plan for yourself. Then you take action. You do all of those 5 things. That gives you success. Now, I want you to think about your score currently of dreams. Out of 10, how well are you on dreams? Are you well documented? Are you good at dreams? Or are you okay at dreams? Goals. How well documented do you have goals? Your fitness goals, your financial goals, your business goals, your relationship goals. How well do you have your goals documented? 1 out of 10, 10 out of 10, give yourself a score. Learning, your current learning plan. How good is your learning plan? What level of learning are you playing at? Okay, again, learning to achieve your goals, not just learning for the sake of learning, learning things that will get you to your goals. Plan, how well planned are you? How well is your fitness plan? How well is your relationship plan? How good's your business plan, your investment plan? All the different areas of life that you want to plan. Your life plan, as we're talking about, $99 for 30 days with me. If you're excited by that, in fact, let me put it, Gunnar, I'm sure you have this somewhere. Is there a link for people to get into the 30-day program? I know we've got the 90-day program up here, but is there a link for people to get to the 30-day program? There is? Excellent. Thank you, Gunnar, for doing that. All right, if you want to get into the 30X Life Challenge, okay, I'm going to put the link up right now. If you want to be one of the 100 people that joins me on the 30X Life Challenge, here it is. Click the button, join here, 30X Life Challenge. One of the first 100 people in, you are in, and we will do that in August. Anyone else, you have to wait till I run it again next time. All right, let's take this formula one step further. Yeah, click that button. Even if you don't want to join immediately, click the button so you've at least got the link, because I know Gunnar will take that down. So if you start dreaming your bucket list, your dream chart, these are the things that you need to look at how you build your dreams, okay? How do you build that bucket list? I use a journal with every page has a different category on it. Your dream chart, how do you build that? I'm going to teach you that in the 30X Life Challenge. I'm going to take you through that in 30 days. Managing the areas of your life, your categories, roles, and goals. See, if you divide your life into multiple categories where you have an importance, a value level, something that's important to you, then from those categories, and let's imagine one of the categories would be family, let's say. Then you look at what are your roles, and then you break those roles down with I am statements, as we've talked about there, your identity iceberg. We break it down into I am statements. And then we go what's daily, weekly, and monthly, and we build those roles. So we're building you into who you need to be in order to do, in order to have. And then we set goals for each of those roles so that we've got something we need to plan for. We need something we know we need to study. Once we have the goals in each area, that's where we get it. So I got to get your mind in the right place. I got to get your mind ready to accept your level of success. Your mind has to be ready to accept it. Yes, if you haven't clicked that button, click it now. Gunnar is going to remove that. All right. There we go. Yes, someone just asked, can I put the 30X? Yeah, you can direct message me, gang. I can see those. So this one here, the 30X Life, Business, and Wealth Challenge. That is the 90-day challenge. So not only are you going to get your life plan, you're going to get your business plan and your wealth plan. 90 days from now, I'm going to plan for each of the three. I just want you to start with the life plan, okay? Let's start with the 30X Life, or if you really want to jump in the deep end, you can jump on that one. So click that button so you've at least got the link, even if you want to look at it. If you join today, I will make that ready for you. In fact, there are some of you going to be watching this on replay. All right, let's see. It's really up to those who chat now, I guess, those who click the button right now. Let's do it that. So how do you have your dreams come true? Well, there's a simple 4-step process that I want you to learn. Idealization, visualization, verbalization, and materialization. What does that mean? Idealization is coming up with what you want to have, your dreams and goals, your ideal world, not just, hey, a couple of good things. This is the one. You want to go ideal world, okay? Second one, you want to look at visualization. I'll teach you that in the 30-day challenge. How do you visualize day in and day out, morning and night, your world becoming a new reality? Verbalization. How do you use your I am statements on a daily basis? I verbalize my I am statements day in, day out. And then finally, materialization. How do you make it all come to fruition? That process is something that we're going to learn 30 days together. Now, the goal section, if you go dream, goal, learn, plan, act, the goal section, we're going to go through and understand, and I'm going to help you break your goals down, all the different areas that you want your goals on this thing. So specific, measurable, achievable, results-oriented with a time frame is what our goals need to be. So you think of having 5-year goals, 3-year goals, 1-year goals, 90-day goals, right down to your daily goals, building those daily goals. You want success? You need to operate on a daily goal system, a daily planning system. That then gives us these two things, clarity, and then I give you the push. By joining me for 30 days, it'll give you the push. So you join me for 30 days. I'll teach you so you get clarity. I'll push you so you get action, and then you will have the success you are looking for. It's no more complex than that. Now, planning. I teach a simple planning methodology. At the end of the day, spend 15 minutes planning the next day. At the end of the week, spend 1 hour planning the next week. I prefer Friday afternoon, but some of you, your weekend's on a Sunday, so you can do it on a Sunday evening. Monthly, we spend a half a day planning the next month. Quarterly, a day, a week before the end of the quarter, we plan the next quarter. Annually, we spend 2 days planning the next year. We do that in business and in life, not just in life, not just in business. We do it on both sides of that equation. All right, Gona's messaged me. She's taking down that button. So if you haven't clicked it yet, click that button so that you get to see that offer. So 2 people have asked me about my books. Okay, here is where you can buy all my books. Yes, there's 17 of the things. And my 18th book, which is called Raise Your Hand Marketing, will be out I believe by the end of next month. If not, Q3 will be at the latest. So hopefully end of this quarter, we should have that book released, and I'll let you know when it comes out. If you want the books, click that button. All right, actions. First thing I want you to do is determine an hourly rate. Now, what does that mean? Well, when I was a young man, I worked out that in my business, I could make at minimum $300 an hour. If I was working in my business, I was making $300 an hour. And then I would go home and do stupid things like wash things and clean the house. And it was like, if I can pay someone anything below, and for me, I set a value of $20. If I can pay someone less than $20 an hour to do this task, I'm never doing it again. I'm going to focus on building myself, building my business, building my wealth. So I'm not wasting my time on things that I can pay someone else a ridiculously low hourly rate to do. It's not worth my time. Saving a wage was costing me a fortune. So next, I then had to learn that rich people spend money to save time and poor people spend time to save money. I was stuck in trying to save time. So I was staying poor because I was spending my time rather than my money. And so I had to get through that and had to learn through that. I'm going to teach you that sort of stuff. Then I had to learn what level of work I wanted to do. Did I want to be an employee level worker or an owner level worker? What level of work did I want to do? Books, Gona's removing that link. So if you can just click that button so you have the link, that would be great as well. Some people have asked me to put back the 30X Life button. All right, Gona, I will do that for you. There it is, the 30X Life button. So owners work is where we make owners money. So we're investing, we're building lifelong income. I want income that comes in whether I get out of bed or not. I want that lifelong leveraged income coming in. And so that's what I had to learn. And again, I'm going to teach you that on 30X Life. I'll teach more of it on 30X Business and 30X Wealth. But this 30X Life Challenge is where I want you to get started. 30 minutes a day for 30 days. That's what I want to see you doing every single day. Finally, I had to learn to do whatever it took. I had to play full tilt, and I had to learn to commit rather than hope. You know, it's the old, I still remember my dad telling me the story of the difference between bacon and eggs, like the chicken and the pig. The chicken participates, the pig's committed. And he would tell me, you know, unless you commit to something, nothing will actually happen. Unless you absolutely go full tilt, commit to doing whatever it takes to make it happen, it's not going to happen. It's like sometimes you got to burn the bridges to go forward type thing. It's definitely a part of it. So dream, goal, learn, plan, action. These are the things. Now, 90 days to revolutionize your life. If you want to do that one, do all 90-day programs with me. If you want to join my university, now I'm going to get to questions in a second. So if you got questions, type them in right now or wave your hand and you can come off mute. My full university, if you want to do that one, Gona, can you do that one? Can you put that link up, please, for everybody? Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Here's the link for the university. If you want to do all 4 of my live programs, they've run virtually this year. We'll finish them out virtually this year, start doing them live and virtual next year, okay? But if you want to be a part of that university and really get down and dirty and really get in and put yourself in an environment where you're going to learn massively, then that's the one to be in, all right? So 30X Life Challenge. If you go for 15 hours with me over 30 days, you then meet with one of my team every day in the challenge room. You go in there and every member of the challenge discusses their learnings and how they're going to apply their learnings every single day for 30 days. What do you think your life plan is going to look like? Okay, where do you think you're going to go with that? All right, so let's get to questions if you've got them. I had 2 questions sent in before we started this thing. Oh, yes, I can put the 30X Life Challenge back up. Click that button right now for the university so that you've at least got it, so that you know what that is. And then finally, here's the one for the 30X Life Challenge back for you. If you can click that one there, you can be one of those 100 people that is with me for August, okay? If you're past the 100, then obviously we'll look at September and putting one on in September if there is enough interest. So the 2 questions I got beforehand. Number 1, success. Okay, it's a very broad question, so I'll try and answer it in a broad way. Can anyone be successful? Yes, anybody can be successful. Let me actually turn that slideshow off. Stop slide so it becomes me again. There I am. Oh, someone wanted to go back to that. Sorry, gang. Turn it off too soon. Actually, it just goes back to the beginning if I put it up, I think. Let me see. Oh, no, it does go back up there. So the 30X Life Challenge. Great. So can anyone be successful? Yes, anyone can grow into success. If I go back to my own story, 16 years of age, met Mr. Rohn, declared that I would financially retire at age 25. I didn't. It took me till 26. But by sitting there and saying to myself, you know, I'm willing to grow. I'm willing. See, at 16, I couldn't achieve financial independence. At 16, I couldn't do that. But I was willing to learn. I was willing to grow. And eventually I would grow into the person that could do that. Okay. So I can turn the slides off now. Thank you. Thank you. There. I was willing to keep growing. And that's what I think the biggest thing is. If you're willing to grow into it, you can achieve anything you want. If you're willing to become the person that will do it, you can achieve anything you want. If you're willing to study, if you're willing to commit to a 30-day challenge, I'll get you there. You commit to it, you'll get there. That's probably the simplest one. Other questions? If you've got any questions, type them in, gang. I saw some of the things that you put in at the start. I'm not sure if I've answered all of those things, but if I haven't, type in the question. I'll be happy to take it. The other question I got beforehand about success and about living a successful life is, what is my definition of success? You know, if you go back to a lot of the books, say, you know, success is the consistent or realization of a worthwhile goal. To me, success is the person you become. Like, who you become is the ultimate thing. You know, if you become, and I see money and fame as sort of a multiplier. If someone's a jerk and they get a lot of money, they become a massive jerk. If someone's really nice and they get a lot of money, then they're amazingly nice type thing. Fame is the same. You know, it multiplies your insecurities. It multiplies your good traits and your bad points type thing. But to me, the person you grow into is really what success looks like. How you grow and how you become successful is really just about that. All right, if there's no more questions, I am going to finish this thing up and get you out there taking it on. Oh, what motivates me internally? It's a really interesting question, because I don't believe anything motivates me. I just believe I'm a motivated person. It's like, what makes you happy? I don't know. I'm just a happy person. I just guess that's just the way I am. But that's also, I started building my I am statements 20 something years ago. I started building my I am statements and building my identity so that, and one of my things is I am a happy person. I am a successful person. So I'm a motivated person. It's just who I am. And I think that's why you want to learn that stuff. So great question. Thank you to the other Brad for that question. Mark asks, how much of an effect does temperament have on achieving success? Can it be achieved no matter your temperament? Temperament is not something that you're stuck with. Temperament is something you can grow and change. You know, your temperament is just a method. It's a combination of three things. Firstly, it's a combination of the chemicals in your body. So what you're putting into your body is part of your temperament. The level of activity you have is a part of your temperament. Whether you're exercising or not changes the chemical makeup of your body. You know, your serotonin levels come from your gut, and that really brings about the happiness factor. So temperament is that. And the third thing temperament is about the knowledge base and about dealing with, you know, what's going on in your head that creates a positive or negative temperament. So there is a lot to learn around temperament, Mark. I don't believe that any one of us has a temperament that is a level that we have. Your temperament is just like a temperature dial. You can dial it up, you can dial it down. Your choice. So how do you want to dial that thing? Start studying and start learning what creates you. Start working on I am statements about who you are. I'm a calm, positive, natural person. You know, you create your I am statements, your brain changes type thing. So great. Look forward to having you on 30X Life Challenge, Mark. Jasmine, was there a specific moment when you realized you wanted to become successful? You know, I think there were several moments early in life, but it really, really happened when I won the Rotary Youth Leadership Award. I won that award. They sent me away for a week-long training on how to be a leader and how to be successful. And I was 16. So you think about the impact of that learning to a 16-year-old. It's why my foundation to this day educates 12 to 22-year-olds on financial success, on being a business owner, on how to be an entrepreneur and not an employee. So yeah, I don't know if it was a specific moment, Jasmine, but it happened around that age of 16. So when I started that, and then I met Mr. Rohn and kept reading and learning. Have you had people start but not complete the 30-day challenge and then continue? Yeah, Paula, some people have done the 30-day challenge and not gone all the way through. I mean, that happens, but we get about 80% of people all the way through. So, some people get to the parts where we're talking about certain things and it becomes a bit much for them and that, but you've got to grow with it. So I would suggest that my coaches who help you through the 30 days will definitely be there to assist you and push, cajole, encourage, coach, and, cheer you on and push you through. But yeah, they can always come back to the 30 days. It's a lifelong membership. Once you've got it, you can go back to the knowledge as many times as you want. We take you through it over 30 days, and then you can go back and do it anytime you want for after that. Adrian, I do not have a translate on this. Maybe I can cut it and put it into Google Translate and see if Google will translate this for me. Google Translate Spanish to English. Thank you. Enter text, cut, paste. Success, being in what you do and doing what you should. Being what you do and doing what you should. Yes, that is a great statement. I like it. I like it a lot. Thank you very much, Adrian. Paula, I can't wait to have you on the 30X Life Challenge. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to everybody being on it. Why? Because at the end of that 30 days, it's not day one where I'm excited. It's day 30 where I'm excited. Where at the end of 30 days, you have your life plan. You have it there. And, I can't wait to see your face 30 days into this thing when we do your graduation ceremony and you graduate through those 30 days. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm sure Gona has got you the link. Listen, click it now, join now. Yes, there it is. Perfect. She's got it up there for you. For those watching on replay, I will give you to Sunday afternoon to make the decision, okay? This is Wednesday. I know there's a bunch of different things in your head, but I'll give you until Sunday to join. If you join the 90-day challenge, then you are going to be even more excited about that. We're going to do 30X on life, 30X on business, and 30X on wealth. Take care. Be well. I will talk to you all soon. If you need anything, support@bradsugars.com. Take care. Bye now.